Welcome, everybody, to this fascinating meeting. This event to show, to see the SANXINGDUI discoveries has been organized by the Confucius Institute of Oxford Brookes University in collaboration with the SANXINGDUI Museum and YouthLink and Xinan Jiaotong Daxue and the Center for Language Education and Cooperation. And I think during the pandemic, many people got rather fed up with Zoom meetings and felt they were not the best way to communicate. But I think this is a wonderful example of how Zoom can best be used, because what we're going to see is an amazing series of views of the museum itself, followed by discussion, actual discussion between archaeologists from China, Zhao Hao Laoshi from the SANXINGDUI Museum, and Professor Jessica Rawson from the University of Oxford. We will also see Li Haichao, professor, who is unable to actually join us, but we'll see him in the videos, which will begin the whole show. We'll see videos first, then a discussion, then more viewing, and then finally a chance of a Q&A session towards the end. So without further ado, if everybody is here, then perhaps it's possible to begin soon and see the amazing discoveries at SANXINGDUI, and which will give us so much to talk about and think about. And we welcome Zhao Hao Laoshi, who's joined us from China, and Jessica Rawson, who is there from Oxford. I think we're probably just waiting for the last people to join.
Okay, so everybody here?
Yeah.
So maybe I start first, or
you start.
Okay, maybe I just start.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our talk today, so would like to give our audience a general introduction about how SANXINGDUI was discovered in history, and about current situation of our discoveries and the new exhibition. So SANXINGDUI, just as a video previously we gave here, it was first discovered in late 1920s by accident. The local farmer called Yan Daocheng, when he was digging a new channel for his farm, he found some jade there, some special jade there, and then he gave this information to the local government. And then in early 1930s, this site attract some attention from the local scholars, especially one from America called David Graham. He was also the director of the Museum of the Northwest China at one of the university in Northwest China at Chengdu. And David Graham organized the first scientific archaeological excavation in 1970s, and this was also the first formal archaeological work in Southwest China. And I think, yeah, this picture on the right was a situation when David Graham organized the first excavation at SANXINGDUI. So from that time, people knows and that this site belongs to some kind of Bronze Age. And then in maybe we can go to the next picture. Okay, so I couldn't control it. Yeah, so in 1980, and after that, archaeologists are doing continuously work at this site, and now we have a general general information about this site. We know it's not just some jade, it's a very big city at that time. So from this picture, we can see that SANXINGDUI was not just these sacrificial pits that we will say later. It was a city in Southwest China at that time. And we can see the general layout of this city is more like a square. On the north side, it's a river. Nowadays, the river is still there. And the city was enclosed by the walls, and of course, another river just runs through in the city. And the most important discoveries was found in 1986. Oh, yeah, general layout. We can see from the general layout. The distance from the western wall to the eastern wall is almost like 4 kilometers, and from north to south is also like 3 kilometers. So it's one of the largest city at that time. Maybe for today, it's not very large. We just think it's just a town in China. But for that time, in the mid and late Bronze Age, it's very large at that time. And in 1986, we found archaeologists found a very special remains at the north part of at the south part of the southern part of the city. We can see from this picture there was a small square called 祭祀区 in the south part of the city. Okay, maybe we go to the next picture. Yeah, they found 2 pits, pit number 1 and pit number 2. It was discovered in 1986. And this is the picture which was after, since after the excavation, the local government built an archaeological park here. So, but we can still see the original location of the 2 pits. And for each pit, they built up a glass house on it, and for the visitors to see the original pits, how the original pits looks like. And from the pits, so maybe we can go to the next one. Yeah, this is the picture of the pit number 1, pit number 2. On the right side is pit number 2. On the left side is pit number 1. And this 2 pits, called SANXINGDUI sacrificial pit, was one of the most astonishing discoveries, archaeological discoveries in 20th century of China. And archaeologists only found 2 pits, but within these pits, there are thousands of important bronze, jade, gold, and other kind of artifacts. For example, this is how the actual people doing the excavation at that time, because it was discovered first excavated in 1986. The general working condition, I mean, both the technical condition and the funding was not that good. So, but at the time, people have to do very hard archaeological work. But we can see from these pictures that they found many important things. For example, on the bottom left, we can see a picture how the archaeologists are doing the cleaning and excavation of the ivories. Because in these pits, there were not just the bronze pieces and other things. There are many ivories. So the people at the ancient SANXINGDUI people first throw a lot or put a lot of bronze pieces at the bottom, and then they put the many ivories on the top. So we can see these ivories just cover the bronze. And for archaeologists, they have to dig these ivories first, and then we can go to the layer of bronze. And then after almost after 35 years, the first excavation was conducted in 1986. Just 2 years ago, in 2019, the archaeologists found 6 new pits, just very close to the original 2 pits. And from then on, we are now conducting a new excavation at that time. The excavation was still undergoing, so many new discoveries are still waiting us to see. And you can see these pictures because after 35 years development, the Chinese archaeology and also the technology of the archaeological work has a very good progress. So in today, we don't have to, like these old archaeologists, have to just step on these ivories with naked foot. Now we have a very advanced archaeological system there to do the new excavation. And these are the pictures of the SANXINGDUI Museum. And they are building a new one because we are doing the new excavation. There will be more important artifacts will be excavated and need to be put into the exhibition for our visitors. So we will also like to someday come to SANXINGDUI and see these important archaeological treasures. So this is just a very general introduction about the history of our exhibition and the site. Okay.
We're now coming to the first part of the video about the SANXINGDUI Museum.